Hello, my name is Jon Vecchio, and I am here to present a speech on the topic of music and how it affects people's emotions. Now, music is a very powerful thing, as in concerts, people all sing along with the music, or they have the same emotional feeling when they are at a concert, all united as one. That is a powerful thing. Now, this emotional feeling changes depending on the genre of music that you're listening to. The first one I'm going to talk about is metal. Now, stereotypes, there's a lot of stereotypes with metal. In this case, I have an example where we have really long hair, ridiculous looking electric guitars, and also a major fashion disaster. Now, this is not the case for most metal bands, as most metal bands usually dress appropriately sometimes, and some of them also do have long hair, but not all of them do, as I'll show you some examples in a bit. But metal bands still do what every band does. They use their instruments and lyrics, if they have them, to create a piece that works together. In metal's case, a lot of the time it is usually a very fast pace. Now, first type of subgenre of metal that I'm going to talk about is non-metal or nu metal. Now, this started to grow in popularity in the late 1990s and has been popular throughout the 2000s. This band in particular is one of my favorites, known as Disturbed, and whenever I listen to their music, I get the sensation that I am in a very intense moment, living in the moment. Life is extremely, life is extremely vivid. That feeling comes from the fast pace of heavy electric guitars and heavy emphasis on the drums that make feeling more intense, more rapid pace, like, yes, time to go, let's do this. And that's the feeling I get with that. Now, another characteristic of this kind of music is the vocalist usually has an aggressive tone of voice. This helps make myself feel more intense and more ready to go to take on the challenge that's at hand. I feel like I am the best of the best. I can take on what challenge, like doing this speech. Now, the next topic I'm going to talk about is a genre of metal that most people in America don't really know about. And this genre is prog metal or progressive metal. Now, the thing about prog metal is it takes a lot of influence from 80s metal bands, be that of Iron Maiden or Judas Priest, but it takes their own twist on them. Now, they do anything that a normal metal band does, usually have a fast pace, electric guitars, drums, etc. But most of these bands pick an overall theme to their music. In which case, the theme is most of the time going to be either themed on Nordic mythology, or it is going to be themed on fantasy, or it's going to be about a time when war or just a great battle. Now, whenever I listen to this kind of music, I get the sense that I am a warrior about to go ready to fight in a battle that would change the lives of many people for ages to come. I feel that if I am successful here, the whole world will be changed. This is extremely powerful music. It makes me feel intense. You're there. You are fighting for what you believe in. You are there. Now, this genre also likes to take a lot of influence on, this genre likes to work with choir groups. Now, when you add a choir group with electric guitars and metal, it creates a phenomenal noise that makes everything larger than life, larger than what everything should be. Make a moment like trying to work up a speech feel like you are writing the most epic speech of all time, and you are going to present this to this great king. Now, I'm going to go over and talk about rock. Now, rock, there are many forms of rock, as there's punk rock, there's classic rock, there's more modern rock, there's hard rock. But today, I'm going to first focus on classic rock. Now, classic rock for me gives me a pretty special feeling that I can't feel from any other kind of music. And that is, it makes me feel that I went back in time a couple of decades ago, like a time that I miss. I feel like I'm a part of a simpler time, such as I am on the open road, just driving in my car, listening to classic rock, and I am just on the open road, and all there is just that road and my destination. Or I feel like I'm calm and just hanging out with my friends, or doing simple things like going fishing and not looking at our phones and tweeting or texting or whatever. Now, I'm going to go into more modern rock now. There's two major types of modern rock that are out there. There's ones that take elements from hard rock or from metal, and those tend to give off a feeling of being pumped up and ready to go. In this case, we have Shinedown, which Shinedown, one of my favorite bands. Whenever I listen to them, I feel like I'm being pumped up to work out, or for my case, I feel like I'm about to get ready to go into a competitive online match in one of my favorite video games, to go compete against other players. It makes me feel get ready. It makes me feel like I'm getting in the zone, ready to go. Now, another type of rock that's in that genre sings about more of a sad time, usually one where either a character or whatever the singer is singing about, telling about a low point in that person's life. Like maybe they lost a loved one, or maybe they broke up with a person that they really loved and now they feel angered about it, like I messed up. But the thing about this music is a lot of times it tells of a chance of redemption. Like, hey, things are going to change. Things are going to get better. It may look bleak now, but things will get better. All I have to do is just keep going. And that is what I feel. I listen to this whenever I feel kind of sad. And I feel like I needed something to keep me going. I listen to this. It reminds me that things are about to change. And that's what I get from this band called Stain. Now I'm going to go over and talk about classical. Now, classical is very interesting with me. I feel when I listen to classical, I am able to clearly focus on what to do, which is why I tend to listen to this kind of music when I'm playing one of my favorite strategy games, known as Civilization 4. That game has a bunch of classical music that plays as background while you're running your civilization, while you're running your empire. And whenever I listen to it, I feel like I'm easily able to figure out a problem. I feel like, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how to do it, and this is what's probably going to happen if everything goes according to plan. I feel that everything is going to be so orderly. It's all rational. It's all this and all that. It's all able to come together and feel very organized. Now, I'm going to change over subjects to music and its importance in other mediums, such as the film industry, television, and video games. As I mentioned before with my Civilization example, music in any form of media is extremely important to get the viewer in the mood that either the game developer, the director, or the director wants that viewer to feel like. Such as if you're watching a film and you see a character that just learned that they lost a loved one. The director is probably going to play music that's going to increase the feeling of sadness in the character to get the audience to feel what that character's feeling is and what they are feeling. Now, I'm going to transition to one of my favorite games of all time to give you as an example. Hear me out. And that is Fallout 3. Now, a bit of background about this. Fallout 3 takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where you are a survivor that has to live in an area that has been ravaged by nuclear war. Now, it's about two. Now, the reason I bring this up and how important it is in music and emotion is this soundtrack is phenomenal. The soundtrack for this game makes me feel that I am there. I am in this wasteland. There is nothing around. I am just by myself, my tools that I have on me, and I have a goal, and that is to survive in this harsh environment. I even listen to the soundtrack outside of school to get that feeling that this is where I'm at. And it reminds me of the great times I had within that. It reminds me of having that immersive feeling, like I was actually there in that world. And that is why music is important in any kind of medium. And thank you.